Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Spring 2022 AUC Graduate Commencement. Congratulations to all of you on your hard work these past years. And to the parents, families, and friends here, thank you for supporting these graduates. There are two notes before we begin the ceremony. First, please silence all cell phones. Secondly, please stay seated for the entire duration of the ceremony and avoid disrupting your fellow guests as a sign of respect to the students graduating here today. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy the ceremony. مرحباً بكم في حفل التخرج النصف السنوي للجامعة. نهنئكم جميعاً على العمل المضني الذي بذلتموه طوال السنوات الماضية. ونتوجه بجزيل الشكر للآباء والعائلات والأصدقاء على الدعم الذي قدموه لهؤلاء الخريجين. قبل بدء مراسم الحفل، نرجو من سيادتكم إغلاق هواتفكم المحمولة والبقاء في مقاعدكم حتى نهاية الحفل كي نتمكن من الاستمتاع بالحفل معاً. نتوجه لكم بجزيل الشكر ونأمل أن تستمتعوا بالحفل. And now, I'm pleased to welcome President Ahmed Dalal to the podium.
Thank you, Dr. Hanadi. Good evening, graduate class of 2022. Members of the Board of Trustees, Excellencies, distinguished guests, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome to the 2022 graduate commencement ceremony of the American University in Cairo. Members of the graduate class of 2022, on behalf of the whole AUC community, I would like to start by saying congratulations. I want to give a special nod of appreciation and respect to all the parents and family members here tonight, who I am sure have long waited for this day. This is as much your moment as it is your children's. You might not have been the ones studying, rushing through project deadlines, or preparing for exams, but you were the invisible yet persistent force pushing your children forward. So I want to congratulate the families and the mentors whose unwavering support has put your children on the path of success. Congratulations. Members of the graduate class of 2022, you richly deserve the degrees you will soon receive. You have all worked hard and achieved much during your years at AUC. None of you, however, managed to do this on your own. You have been supported by family and friends, and you have benefited from the knowledge and wisdom of your professors. So now, it is time, graduates, get up, turn around, and applaud the people who helped you get to this day. Thank you. Tonight, we celebrate the accomplishments of all of our graduates. The faculty has approved each of them for the awarding of their degrees. Each has completed the demanding requirements of their respective curricula. Tonight, we are proud to award PhDs to 2 students in applied sciences and to award master's degree to 80 candidates. I give special recognition to those graduates who participated in the class of 2022 alumni gift. I ask those students wearing a blue sash to stand up for recognition. Thank you for giving back to your alma mater. Please be seated. Since it was founded in 1919, AUC has aspired to be of service to Egypt and the world, preparing students to meet the challenges of the day with courage, confidence, and innovation. But the achievements of this graduating class have an added significance. Tonight, we're gathering after 2 years of tremendous struggle and perseverance on the part of our students, on the part of our faculty, staff, and all of our friends and families. As we look at the changed world around us, it is clear that all of our lives have been impacted in ways that would have been unimaginable before the pandemic. The global pandemic made us rethink our priorities in life, what we want to achieve, who we are, and what are the things that count in our time on this earth. If you look at your time at AUC, you will remember the lengthy and often challenging pathway that has led to today's achievement. You have persevered through sleepless nights, Zoom fatigue, and anxiety. For many of you, the demands of your program were also balanced with your jobs and family responsibilities. You have fought through tough times and honed the excellent character, diligence, and resilience that will make you continue to excel throughout your life. And if you look forward, there is excitement, of course, about new beginnings and the bright future that lies ahead, but also some disquiet of the unknown in a world still struggling to triumph over the global pandemic and to deal with environmental degradation, war and polarization, and economic instability and rising poverty. You are indeed graduating at a challenging time in history, yet I trust that with the benefits of another degree from AUC, you will not sit passively on the sidelines. So let us celebrate what is good and promising about this moment. And let's remember those we lost, faculty, staff, and dear students. There is no greater exemplar of the fine human qualities that you, our graduating students, embody than the fallen members of our community. Our departed faculty colleagues and trustees, Dr. Muna Abaza, Dr. Sami Aqabawi, Humphrey Davis, Dr. Mahmoud Al-Lozi, Dr. Salah ad-Din Al-Nahawi, Trustee Peter Giblin, Dr. Nicholas Hopkins, and former AUC President Donald McDonald. On our staff members, Mustafa Hamad Afifi, Ahmad Hindi, Ali Hassan, Abdul Hamid Al-Badri, Abeid Yunan Mikhail, Muhammad Mustafa, and of course our beloved students, Waad Ahmad, Ali Al-Batati, Karim Abu Kura, and Dania Yusuf. Tonight we pay tribute to the triumphant spirits of our beloved brothers and sisters and sons and daughters who bravely faced what was placed in their life's paths and made lasting impressions on all the lives they touched along the way. Let us live our lives with the same dignity, grace, and generosity as was shown to us by their gentle souls, lost but never forgotten. Please join me in a moment of silence to remember the beloved members of our community. From them, we learned very well that life is not promised to us, and it is filled with much uncertainty. But what I urge you to take away is that life is packed full of opportunities to serve, to learn, to grow, and to become your best self. I urge each and every one of you not to forget the best of what AUC had to give you, to find the time to be compassionate, to care for yourself and your loved ones, and to continue to polish yourself into someone truthful, dependable, and humble, who continually seeks to understand the world and strives to make it better. Your achievements and the milestones you have reached by pursuing graduate studies and through your innovative projects and research studies position you to serve your families, your nation, and the world. We are proud of you for your ambition, for your determination and resilience. It is now my great honor to introduce the speaker for this year's commencement ceremony, Her Excellency Dr. Maya Mursi, the President of the National Council for Women, a champion for women's rights, and an AUC alumna. Under her leadership, the Council designs innovative policies and monitors national plans that ensure the advancement and empowerment of women in the country. During a rich career spanning 25 years in leading positions in local, regional, and international organizations, Dr. Mursi played an active and impactful role in empowering women and advocating for women's rights. She served as UNDP Regional Advisor on Gender Policies and Programs. She also served as the head of the Egypt Country Office UN Fund for Women and the Country Coordinator Director of UNIFEM and Liaison for the Arab League. She has received many accolades, including the Woman of the Decade in Public Life and Empowerment at the Women Economic Forum in 2018, and she was named one of Egypt's 100 most influential women in 2016, and the Woman Pioneer from the UAE in 2019. Dr. Mursi managed and led more than 50 programs and authored more than 45 training manuals, books, articles, research, and policy papers. She holds a PhD in public policy with a focus on the human security of Arab women and has completed 2 master's degrees at the City University of Seattle in business administration and public administration. She graduated from AUC in 1995 with a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science. Your Excellency, the floor is yours.
I'm grateful and humbled with the introduction. Special thanks to President Dr. Ahmed Dallal, distinguished Board of Directors, distinguished professors, and graduates of 2022. I'm profoundly honored and privileged to be amongst all of you today to celebrate one of the most important days in your lives. This is a real milestone to a real future and the first reality check. Today is an opportunity to reflect on the progress and the downfalls, the highs and the lows, the lessons learned, the changes you had to go through, all of which have led to this moment of celebration and achievement. Celebrating the sacrifices of not only you, but also the dear ones who believed in your future and supported you unconditionally. A huge thank you to our support system and hidden treasure, parents, families, friends, siblings, spouses, and children. Without you all, we could not be here. Distinguished graduates of 2022, do you know that Eva Habib was the first Egyptian woman graduate of AUC in 1931? And that AUC also witnessed the groundbreaking march of the Egyptian feminist Doraya Shafi with 1,500 women at her side from the Ewart Hall in Tahrir Square to the parliament demanding women's rights to vote and run for the parliament in February 1951. Let us give these 2 iconic AUCians a round of applause. You have made history and paved our future, and we are standing now in your footsteps. "32 years ago was my first day in my remarkable AUC Tahrir Old Campus, the iconic building for thousands and thousands of AUCians for less than 90 years. This is the AUC that we know. The Hill House and the Student Union, the Ewart Memorial Hall with the old wooden seats, the Oriental Arabesque Hall, the Greek campus and the platform and the welcome parties, and the library with the very supportive and helpful staff. Whenever I go there now, it feels that like I never left. I remember running between the 2 campuses in Mohammed Mahmoud Street to get to the class on time, entering to the Ewart Hall for rehearsals, or watching the Thursday night movies, or participating in the meetings of the anti-drug team, the Say No to Drugs, the first ever campaign in Egypt at that time was coming out of AUC. or meetings in the student union, where I started as an assistant and continued to represent political science students. This was my first political elections. Or spending hours and hours in the library to prepare research or a presentation. And by the way, the Google search was not there at the moment. A 90s student probably never thought, but by any means, that one day we would be able to find information with a few taps or within few seconds. I sound a little bit old. Dear class of 2022, I ask you to join me in giving a special bow to all AUC professors who contributed not only to your learning, but also believe that their students are the reflection of their own selves, and their success beyond the borders of their classroom is one of their responsibility. Yes, professors, you have a lasting impact on the lives of your students and an influence that can never be erased. I would be honored today to thank my professors who were kind, passionate, helpful, and truly caring. I'm proud to be in contact with them to this moment. I'm truly grateful to Dr. Tim Sullivan, the great professor of political science who inspired me at all times, who opened my eyes and enticed my interest in joining the United Nations. Thanks to his constant encouragement, I had a big dream at the time, leading the UN one day. I still hear his voice, don't give up on your dreams. I'm grateful to Dr. Mona Makram Abed, a great politician and a great political scientist, who opened the doors to research, intercultural and interfaith dialogue. I'm also immensely indebted to Dr. Bahgat Korani, the great scholar and professor of international relations and political economy, whom I really cherish his great support later in my life during my PhD studies in public policies and human security. I cannot forget Dr. Madiha Safti, God bless her soul, the prominent professor of sociology who introduced me to the role of civil society and women's rights in the Arab society class. And Dr. Inji Solh. The theater classes were memorable. She taught me not only the art, but also the body language, the toning of the voice, the movement on stage, communicating well with everyone on and off stage. I really enjoyed performing the Phantom of the Opera, and this is the first time to say this, by the way. I really enjoyed performing the Phantom of the Opera and the ballet dancing with the premier dancer, Magdi Sabr of the Cairo ballet team at that time. And now he is the president of the Cairo Opera House. I have learned to be a journalist, the so-called committed observer in the profound Kamal Adham Center and the Caravan. Graduates of 2022. As AUC graduate with a big dream and a passion to change the world, I started as an intern in the UN. Looking back then, it was neither an easy path nor a velvet one. I still remember the manager at the office who once told me, "Dear, don't ever think that coming from AUC will give you the chance to sit on the Nile and be a UN." Later, I directed UN organizations. One week, they put me as a receptionist. Another, I am in archiving and filing. And then a typist who was tasked to type as many papers as you can imagine. I do remember my tears and the sound in my head saying, "You will win. Just be patient." The most important lesson at that moment, it doesn't matter what job title you have. Do it the best to your ability. To eventually win, you have to learn the science behind your craft. And as graduates, you have to go deep, deep, deep. Every job in the world is a craft by itself. Without taking the time to fine-tune your skills, your efforts will be built on a foundation that is bound to crumble once it is put to the test. Remember always that all of you are different. Everyone has his own and her own stamp, your own signature, your confidence. For this, it is important that you don't let yourself get into the trap of questioning your own capabilities, the imposter syndrome. If you choose to shine, your light will be undeniable, and it's your choice. Life will introduce you to both discouraging and encouraging people at your career. So just be patient. Patience took me from my first job as a receptionist at the United Nations to supporting the Egyptian government of Egypt in policymaking. The doors I kept knocking opened with the opportunities to work on real development issues and allowed notable contributions to Egypt's Human Development Report, which was the beginning of my exposure, leverage, and more opportunities. I have worked tirelessly in the United Nations, continued my studies, got my 2 masters and PhD, got married, and was gifted with 3 children. This was done with a supportive husband. Without that support, I wouldn't have gone so far. So for young men who are not married or going to get married in the hall, support your future wives. Believe in their power. Your role is a catalyst for their success and their future, and hence the future of your family. I grew in the UN system until I headed the UNIFEM, then UN Women in Egypt, and served as a regional gender team leader for the Regional Bureau of UNDP in New York and Regional Center in Cairo and Amman. Success is a cumulative process. It is not a one-time event. Here I'm standing in front of you after 27 years from my graduation as a political scientist and a specialist in public policy and an advocate for women and human rights. The 3rd elected and the youngest president of the National Council for Women since its establishment in 2000. Running as a candidate for presidency of the National Council for Women was a turning point in my life. To me, it was about how can I contribute to making Egypt better and how I will support shaping a new future, a real paradigm shift for Egyptian women, and a new era for women's rights. I saw unset questions in the eyes of many. Will she be able to handle? Will she be able to lead? She is still very young, but I was sure of the answers. I saw doubts about whether women will go up the policy-making ladder, but I was confident that they will, and they did, and will still go further. I'm very lucky, as a feminist in the public policy, to be leading the national women machinery of Egypt in an era that have witnessed the real commitment of a sincere political will of the president to empower Egyptian women. I have seen Egyptian women in leadership positions for the first time in history, women in the State Council and public prosecution after 72 years of demanding governance, national security advisor to the president, among many other positions, shattering the glass ceiling, but also actually melting the iron doors, in addition to constitutional quotas in the parliament and strong presence in the cabinet. I also had the opportunity to lead the drafting of Egypt's first strategy to women's empowerment, which was the first ever globally to be aligned with the UN Sustainable Development Goals, as well as proposing new legislations for Egyptian women, such as stricter penalties for sexual harassment, FGM, criminalizing deprivation of inheritance, law against cyber crimes, amendment to criminal procedures to protect the data of violence survivors, law of criminalizing bullying, code to protect women within the public transportation. I worked on development strategies, policies, legislative reform, national programs and campaigns targeting millions and millions of Egyptian women. My dreams for Egyptian women and girls are ambitious. We know the challenges that we face, and we work so hard to encounter them. Despite that, Egypt is now classified by the United Nations as a champion for women's empowerment and gender equality globally. Today, we were able to introduce homegrown solutions to changing mindsets and convincing people and institutions that women's empowerment is not a luxury. Our biggest challenge is ideational, behavioral change. We are committed to change the narrative we know, and we're dreaming big. Let me tell you, it absolutely feels incredible to be able to contribute, even a minimum contribution, to changing the lives of your own people. You're here right now, building the future of Egypt, our nation. You will be giving back to your country or working in any other country abroad. You will learn that this gives a meaning to what you do. From that point, I want to tell you 7 points. First, build your own legacy right now. Don't wait for magic to happen. You have it, you have it. What it takes to turn the challenge into the chance. Failure is just steps towards a solid and grounded achievements. I don't have failure in my vocabulary. I don't have it in my vocabulary. I only have lessons learned. You don't learn as much just from winning or playing it safe. And remember, perception, and perception for women specifically, is more power than the truth. Believe in your power. You're strong. You're not vulnerable or weak. Second, you will go through a lot. Resilience is the key. Some of your acts will come out of desperation, yet with your resilience and determination, you can do miracles. Moving from your desperation to inspiration is the key. Third, do what you love. While you are doing your best in finding what you love, don't accommodate yourself to be in existing standards. Define your own parameters of success. Fifth, role models are important in your lives. I always say we have good role models we aspire to be like, but we also have models who taught us what not to be like. And last, you will never succeed as one person. Believe in building teams of allies and supporters throughout your career path. They will be your army. Claim your space in life right now. Take a chance, and cheers to Class 2022. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Morsi, for your inspiring words. So I'm Adham Ramadan, I'm the Dean of Graduate Studies, and you can see that one of the feline members of the AUC community decided to come and join you on stage and congratulate you. So this year we have Karina Alonso, who's a candidate for the degree of Master of Arts in Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages, will bring a message from the graduating class.
It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the 99th commencement at the American University in Cairo. Every one of you has made an impact on the graduates who sit here today. To those of you who do not know me, my family's from a small village in Mexico. My grandparents to this day never learned how to read or write. My parents' education finished at the secondary level. And I am not ashamed to say this, because even with their limited knowledge and resources, they encouraged me to pursue my own goals and dreams. They were my main support system. I could even call them my personal cheerleaders, while I carved an unbeaten path that is higher education. And it is thanks to them and institutions such as AUC that I am here, standing before you as the first person in my family to not only pursue higher education, but also have the opportunity to even do so. Our time at AUC was special. We endured so many strenuous nights alongside each other as we stressed over our assignments with an array of empty pots of coffee adorning our desks and sinks. To those of you who were part-time students but full-time parents, to those of you who took their opportunity through a full-ride scholarship, and even to those of us who were having anxiety attacks while trying to submit an assignment at 11:59 p.m., all of you, in your own unique and glorious way, have worked so hard to be here. And of course, we can't forget all of our personal cheerleaders throughout life, As a matter of fact, let's give another round of applause to those of them who are present and to those who couldn't be. So much can change in one generation, or even just a few years. We have all trodden different paths to be here. We all overcame obstacles, whether big or small. And even with a tumultuous, unprecedented pandemic, we didn't falter and instead persevered. Whether you are the first graduate in your family, like me, or you come from a long line of academics, or somewhere in between, I implore you all, in the future, always take a moment and reflect on the trail you have marked. Just look at how far your footprints stretch, even now. While AUC has given breath and courage to our voices, we chose to walk among the university's gardens in order to further cultivate our minds through enlightening discussions. We exchanged ideas and perspectives that molded our ruminations and confirmed our credences. And it is through this notion that I know we will run. We will create an intricately interconnected mosaic that bridges disagreements and fills gaps in order to make the world a better place. I truly cannot wait to see where everyone's footprints will travel. Which is why, as we part ways from here on out, I call on each of you to continue learning from your mistakes and marvel at every new destination. Because according to J.M. Barrie, the author of Peter Pan, to live will be an awfully big adventure.
Thank you for your words, Karina. And we would like to now present 2 graduate student awards. The first is the 25th of January award, which was established in 2011 at AUC by the Graduate Advisory Council, and this to commemorate the achievements of Egyptian activists who contributed to the extension of civil and political rights in Egypt and the Arab world during the period following January 25th, 2011. The award recognizes an AUC graduate student for outstanding thesis work on a topic related to democracy, human rights, citizenship, or sustainable development in the Middle East and North Africa. This year's winner is Salahuddin Saoudi, who completed his degree in fall 2021 in the graduate program of Sociology Anthropology. His thesis is titled Seen and Safe, Digital Stories of Grief, Care, and the Making of Subjectivities Online. He was supervised by Dr. Dina Makram Abeid, Assistant Professor in the Department of Sociology, Egyptology, and Anthropology. Salahuddin Saoudi is receiving his award in absentia. The second award is that of Muhammad bin Abdul Karim Al-Hidan Endowed Graduate Award. This was established by the late Sheikh to recognize a science or engineering graduate student who demonstrated excellence in his or her studies and who has the best publication record. This year's winner is Muhammad Saleh Abu Yazid Saleh, a PhD candidate in engineering.
Mr. President, the Excellence in Academic Performance Awards are presented at the commencement ceremony to faculty members who have excelled in their academic performances and who have gone far and beyond the call of duties. It gives me a great pleasure to recognize these faculty members tonight. The award for excellence in research and creative endeavor is given to a faculty member who has demonstrated a distinguished record of past and continuing excellence in research and creative endeavors, and their work must be recognized nationally and internationally. I'm pleased to present this year's the award to Yasmin Motawa, Senior Instructor in Department of Rhetoric and Composition. Two other faculty merit awards will be presented at the undergraduate commencement ceremony tomorrow. The Excellence in Teaching Award recognizes a full-time faculty member who has demonstrated scholarship of teaching and learning, as well as the faculty commitment to excellence, outstanding effort, and achievement in teaching. This year's award goes to Dr. Hakim Mishri'i, School of Business. The Excellence in Academic Service Award is established to recognize full-time faculty outstanding performance in supporting their communities to reach their full potential. This year's winner is Dr. Layla Al-Baradei, Professor of Public Policy and Administration Department. Both of them will receive their award tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President, on behalf of the university faculty, I now present our candidates for the PhDs in Applied Sciences. Each of the candidates passed a comprehensive examination and successfully presented and defended his or her research thesis. Dr. Lutfi Gafar, Dean of the School of Sciences and Engineering, will come forward for the holding of the candidates. Rasha Mahmoud, Registrar, will call the names of the candidates who are present to receive their PhD degrees. The other candidates listed in the program will receive their degrees in absentia. We remind the graduates that you are to remain in your seats until the last graduate has received their degree, as a matter of respect to your colleagues.
For the degree of Doctorate of Philosophy in Engineering, Mohammed Saleh Abul Yazid Saleh. Wasim Mohammed Raslan.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President, on behalf of the university faculty, I now present the candidates from the School of Business for the degrees of Master of Arts, Master of Business Administration, Master of International Management, and Master of Science. Each candidate has completed the rigorous requirements for the master's degree prescribed by the faculty. Dr. Sharif Kamel, Dean of the School of Business, will come forward for the holding of the candidates. Rasha Mahmoud, Registrar, will call the names of the candidates who are present to receive their degrees. The other candidates listed in the program will receive their degrees in absentia.
For the degree of Master of Arts in Economics, Nurhan Hussein Al-Hadba. For the degree of Master of Arts in Economics and International Development, Phoebe Ramzi Labib. مصطفى أحمد حسن. رنا كمال عاشور. For the degree of Master of Business Administration, Maysara Tariq Fahmi. For the degree of Master International Management, Malak Mohammed Faid. For the degree of Master of Science in Finance, Fayrouz Hisham Nigm.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President, on behalf of the university faculty, I now present our candidates from the School of Global Affairs and Public Policy, for the degrees of Master of Arts, Master of Global Affairs, Master of Laws, Master of Public Administration, and Master of Public Policy. Each candidate has completed the rigorous requirements of the master's degrees prescribed by the faculty. Nabil Fahmi, Dean of the School of Global Affairs and Public Policy, will come forward for the holding of the candidates. Rasha Mahmoud, Registrar, will call the names of the candidates who are present to receive their degrees. The other candidates listed in the program will receive their degrees in absentia.
For the degree of Master of Arts in Journalism and Mass Communication, Ala Ahmed Ali. Dina Ahmed Ali. Mariam Makram Labib. For the degree of Master of Arts in Migration and Refugee Studies, Iman Hani Muhammad. For the degree of Master of Arts in Television and Digital Journalism, Basant Akram Abdul Gawad. دعاء صلاح فريد. محمد أحمد محمد سالم. شيماء ممدوح كمال الدين. For the degree of Master of Global Affairs, Ahmed Mohammed Shaheen. أميرة طارق المولحي. فاطمة سيف الله نصير. يمنى عبد الراضي عبد الرحيم. For the degree of Master of Laws in International and Comparative Law, Abdullah Mahmoud Said. Britt Hendricks. لينا سامي سليمان. معتز محمد الصغير عيدروس. For the degree of Master of Public Administration, مشيرة حسني عز العرب. شيماء محمود صباح. For the degree of Master of Public Policy, إنجي إبراهيم درويش. لبنى عبد الله. ندى عصام عبد الحي. رفيعة فؤاد مازن. وليد زغلول.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President, on behalf of the university faculty, I now present our candidates from the School of Humanities and Social Sciences for the degrees of Master of Arts. Each candidate has completed the rigorous requirements for the master's degrees prescribed by the faculty. Dr. John Miloy, Dean of the School of Humanities and Social Sciences, will come forward for the holding of the candidates. Rasha Mahmoud, Registrar, will call the names of the candidates who are present to receive their degrees. The other candidates listed in the program will receive their degrees in absentia.
For the degree of Master of Arts in Community Psychology, Manar Ahmed Nada. يمنى محمد الطويل. For the degree of Master of Arts in Counseling Psychology, Amal Mohammed Abdul. داليا حسن سرحان. هنا أوسام حنا. خالد صلاح الدين. ندى محمود شاكر. سالي عادل العربي. سما محمد عيسى. For the degree of Master of Arts in Educational Leadership, Ahmed Talat Imam. Ponce Abdul Ghani El Sayed. For the degree of Master of Arts in Egyptology and Coptology, Kanan Yoshimura. For the degree of Master of Arts in English and Comparative Literature, Aya Yasser El-Tilmisani. بشرى شريف هاشم. For the degree of Master of Arts in International and Comparative Education, صديقة سامي عمر. For the degree of Master of Arts in Philosophy, Hibatullah Reda Rashid. For the degree of Master of Arts in Political Science, Omar Hamid Ghannam. Sara Farag Fathi. For the degree of Master of Arts in Teaching Arabic as a Foreign Language, Noha El-Amir Abdul Gawad Al-Sibai. Salma Imam Sabri. For the degree of Master of Arts in Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages, Karina Alonso.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President, on behalf of the university faculty, I now present to you our candidates from the School of Sciences and Engineering. For the degrees of Master of Science, each candidate has completed the rigorous requirements for the master's degree prescribed by the faculty. Dr. Lotfi Gafar, Dean of the School of Sciences and Engineering, will come forward for the holding of the candidates. Rasha Mahmoud, Registrar, will call the names of the candidates who are present to receive their degrees. The other candidates listed in the program will receive their degrees in absentia.
For the degree of Master of Science in Biotechnology, Nada Alaa Mustafa. For the degree of Master of Science in Construction Engineering, Iman Muhammad al-Nahas. Riham Muhammad Abu Zaid. For the degree of Master of Science in Computer Science, Salma Rushdi Ali. For the degree of Master of Science in Electronics and Communications Engineering, Muhammad Tariq Ismail. Yasmin Adel Gouda. For the degree of Master of Science in Mechanical Engineering, Yusuf Amr Naga. For the degree of Master of Science in Nanotechnology, Muhammad Hisham Abdulaziz. For the degree of Master of Science in Physics, Ahmed Haitham Ibrahim. For the degree of Master of Science in Sustainable Development, Nurhan Khalid Galal Ahmed.
All graduates, please stand. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I confer on you the degrees of Doctorate of Philosophy, Masters of Arts, Masters of Business Administration, Master of Global Affairs, Master in International Management, Master in Laws, Master of Public Administration, Master of Public Policy, and Master of Science, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Congratulations.
So thank you, President Dalal, and congratulations to the class of Spring 2022. The AUC song has been a long-standing part of our commencement ceremonies. Today's rendition is performed by the Cairo Choral Society, an organization affiliated with the Department of the Arts at AUC, and recorded and edited by Ahmed Rifai, who is a recent graduate of our music technology program. So please stand and join the class of 2022 in the singing of the AUC song. You will find the lyrics on the screens, supposedly, and on the first page of the program.
We are
Thank you.